2001, A Space Odyssey, 1968. One of the most visually stunning, thought-provoking films ever made, Kubrick's individual vision, his tremendous imagination, and his painstaking ability to render that imagination into brilliant cinematic effects made this a quite outstanding movie. Full of images and shapes that blend together. A movie to have a serious and thought-provoking approach to space travel and extraterrestrial life, as opposed to the chimeric unatomic alien from Planet X B movies used to feed fear to audiences in the 1950s. 2001 is loosely based on Arthur C. Clarke's short story The Sentinel, written in 1948 for a BBC competition. Watcher forages for food until the monolith gives him the insight to use the tool to create food. Music is used to accentuate the dawning of an idea. One of the film's most striking features is that there is no dialogue whatsoever for the entirety of the first and last acts of the film. The entire narrative of these sections, totaling almost 45 minutes of the entire film, is carried by images, actions, sound effects, and two title cards. Only when the film moves into the future do we encounter characters who speak. By the time shooting began, Kubrick had deliberately jettisoned much of the intended dialogue and narration. Later in the movie, Moonwatcher howls in triumph, man has learned to kill using tools. A tool which will give dominance over other tribes. The victorious man-ape throws his bone weapon high into the air, at which point the film jumps forward to the future, matching the image of the tumbling bone to that of a man-made military spacecraft in orbit above the Earth. Once into space, the spectacle becomes eye-boggling. So beautiful, so realistic are the images that it seems as if it must have been made on location. The story, or fable or parable, call it what you will, is not easy to follow. Filming of 2001 began on December 29, 1965 at Shepperton Studios in Shepperton, England. The studio was chosen for its size, big enough for the 60 by 120 by 60 foot pit built as the set for the Tycho crater excavation scene, the first to be shot. Dubbed Tycho Magnetic Anomaly 1 or TMA1 for short. Investigation of the object has revealed conclusively that it was deliberately buried 4 million years earlier. The shuttle lands at the dig site, and the scientists warily approach a monolith, as seen during the Dawn of Man sequence. Floyd reaches out and strokes the smooth surface of the object, mirroring the awe and curiosity that the man-ape exhibited millions of years earlier. They gather around it for a group photo but are interrupted when an ear-splitting, continuous high-pitched tone is picked up by their radio receivers, emitted by the monolith, as the sun shines down on it. HAL 9000 supercomputer is the pinnacle in artificial machine intelligence. One of the most memorable scenes in the movie when astronaut Bowman shuts down HAL by removing modules from service one by one. As this happens, we witness HAL's consciousness degrading. This is a very moving sequence in the movie, as Hal has his intelligence and memories removed. As his mind gradually fades, Hal regresses to old memories, before finally falling silent. This pre-recorded video briefing by Haywood Floyd is the only direct plot-related dialogue in the entire film.
Good day, gentlemen. This is a pre-recorded briefing made prior to your departure, and which for security reasons of the highest importance has been known on board during the mission only by your HAL 9000 computer.
Bowman sees the monolith before him, which is considered by many as a doorway. Does the monolith now represent the doorway, as written in the book of Revelations?
Chapter 4, verse 1. After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven.
There are probably as many interpretations of Kubrick's intention as there are people who have seen the film. Much discussion is centered around the cosmic ride sequence. At the time, many people were convinced it was a recreation on film of an LSD trip. The debate was irrelevant. 2001 stands as a singular, extraordinary cinematic experience. The travel through the Stargate sequence was filmed, it seems, using a mirror placed on the front of a moving motor car, traveling across a desert, also traveling through built-up areas whilst capturing the neon and street lights. Dave Bowman sees the 7 stars. Is this Kubrick's hint at a psychic/spiritual rebirth for mankind? The Book of Revelation uses 7 repeatedly: 7 candlesticks, 7 churches, 7 seals, 7 trumpets, and 7 vial judgments, and the 7 angels.
Revelation 1:20. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches.
Is this Kubrick covering all bases? Mixing a scientific message with a religious one? As censorship was quite strict around this time, was Kubrick cleverly protecting his film from any backlash from the church or outrage from die-hard Big Bang theorists? From the year 1966, the filming took place at MGM British Studios in Boreham Wood, England. It was here that a command post was established to facilitate the filming of special effects scenes. As the technology was unavailable to the makers of 2001, A Space Odyssey in 1965, it meant the expensive and time-consuming processes of multiple exposure to create their effects, which limited what they were able to show on the screen. Where, it is claimed, Kubrick employed only about 35 different effects, Star Wars has 363. Kubrick encouraged people to explore their own interpretations of the film, and refused to offer an explanation of what really happened in the movie, preferring instead to let audiences embrace their own ideas and theories. In a 1968 interview with Playboy magazine, Kubrick stated, "You are free to speculate, as you wish, about the philosophical and allegorical meaning of the film, and such speculation is one indication that it has succeeded in gripping the audience at a deep level, but I don't want to spell out a verbal roadmap for 2001 that every viewer will feel obligated to pursue, or else fear he's missed the point." Kubrick filmed a number of scenes that did not make the first cut. These include a schoolroom scene at the Clavius moon base in which Kubrick's own daughter appeared in the cast, and the purchase of a bush baby in a futuristic department store for Haywood Floyd's little girl who appeared in the videophone scene. It has been rumored that Arthur C. Clarke himself played one of the scientists. Additional footage includes some redundant spacewalking material and a scene where Bowman retrieves a spare antenna part from an octagonal corridor. MGM made a publicity still from this, which was used as a lobby card. but most notable was an opening scene, where scientists are shown discussing the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Kubrick began editing the film in March of 1968 and made his final cut, taking 19 minutes out of the film, just days before the public premiere on April 6. By then, the film had run $4.5 million over its initial $6 million budget and was 16 months late of its scheduled release. At a final cost of $10.5 million, a large sum at the time, the film grossed over $21 million in its initial release, making it one of the studio's biggest hits. Kubrick did not envisage or plan on a sequel to 2001. Kubrick was afraid of the later exploitation and recycling of his material in other productions, as was done with the props from MGM's Forbidden Planet, so, to the dismay of MGM Studios, he ordered all prints of unused scenes, sets, props, and production blueprints destroyed, and, thus, these materials were lost. In its premiere, 2001, A Space Odyssey has been analyzed and interpreted by multitudes of people ranging from professional movie critics to amateur writers and science fiction fans. The unexplained holds a fascinating interest and keeps people asking questions. Like a magician's trick, once an audience knows how the illusion is performed, the wonder and mystery have gone, and curiosity will be lost. Speculation helps keep 2001, A Space Odyssey a place in movie history, and will no doubt excite, inspire and enthrall for generations to come. For Mr. C.R. Gretton, English drama teacher of Eltham Green School, London South East 9, 1968.